Thursday. Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa, welcome on the show. My name is Wale Scott. I said it on the show and you were smiling. Sometimes you smile at the wrong time. And I'm asking myself, I said, I think the Super Eagles went to the Nations Cup just to play Egypt. And after they played Egypt, you are still smiling. After they played Egypt, finish. The best of them left them.
The momentum of playing Egypt was what carried them through beating throughout the rest of their group stage. And once they got through the group stage, all of that energy was done.
Chai. So it was all Mo Salah. The inspiration for Nigeria at the Nations Cup was Mo Salah.
We ourselves, the journalists, we built it up as the testing match. The test of what we could do in the competition.
And we did show it, really.
And once we did beat them, our expectations went up. Everyone wanted Eguavoen to stay.
And then it came down.
And then it came down.
Chai.
Deflation is such a bad
thing. Egypt defeated Cote d'Ivoire 5-4 on penalties to reach the quarterfinals at the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon, following a goalless draw. The Pharaohs got the upper hand in the shootout when substitute keeper Gebaski saved Eric Bailly's efforts in the third round of spot kicks, and captain Mo Salah netted the decisive penalty to send the record 7-time champions through. Egypt will face Morocco in the last 8 in Yaoundé on Sunday. It's Egypt's 5th consecutive win against Cote d'Ivoire in the African Nations Cup. Okay, Egypt, we beat Egypt. They go on to beat Cote d'Ivoire. They are in the semi-finals or quarterfinals, and this is sad.
They're still there, and obviously Egypt should and were one of the favorites going into the tournament. And now that they are in the quarterfinals, there's just 3 games left. Should they get through those 3 games, they're champions.
Okay, Mukail, let's look at the Egyptian coach spoke, the Ivorian coach spoke, and a few players spoke too. Let's see. Okay, now Egypt, obviously the North African teams have always proven to us that they're very technical. And then we're going to see an epic encounter. 2 North African teams. Egypt will take on Morocco.
But at this stage of the competition, a lot of games are going to be very tight. There's going to be a lot of touchiness in the game. Teams won't want to lose, so they won't be as expansive. They won't be as adventurous. And like we saw with the Mali game as well, with Equatorial Guinea, both the Egypt game and the Mali game went to penalties. And ultimately, we're probably going to get a lot more of that going towards the finals, and probably even in the finals. Ultimately, we hope for good football, regardless of how touchy it gets, how contested it gets. But like you said, the North Africans, technique is the name of the game in this century, is the name of the game in this era of football. And no matter whether the games
they have been able to acquire that knowledge in Africa already.
I mean, the fact is they have more room to play with teams from outside of Africa. The Arab Cup, for example, is a great opportunity to flex their muscles. And a lot of their players do end up in a lot of these Arab leagues, do end up in Eastern European leagues, and a lot of options for them. And unlike the West Africans, where, of course, we're still the West and the East Africans, a lot of our players do end up in the French league, a lot of our players do end up in the English league. The Spanish league and the German league are leading the way when it comes to technique and football. And a lot of these players are still, North African players, are ending up in the likes of France, ending up in the likes of Spain, where technique is the name of the game, even Germany.
Now, on a sad note, Mukail and I spoke about this on Tuesday. We spoke about the deaths of 5 people at the stadium, and the CAF president has come out to say, okay, good, we'll look into this. But we spoke about you also mentioned the fact that Africans are not taking this COVID-19 thing as seriously as they should.
Not
And they open the stadium down, the gates. You don't collect money from them. You give free buses in a COVID-19 stricken period. I don't think that's a good idea.
You know, if this was a matter of a court trial and the question was being asked, the question that would have been asked is, was it reasonable to expect that this kind of thing could happen? And it absolutely should have been expected. And the government, the organizers, they failed woefully. Sure, there's plenty of blame to go around, like Victor said yesterday. There's plenty of blame to go around. The players themselves, the fans themselves who were rushing in. And right from day one, they always seem to be so excited that they rushed and
was in
ran
every
into
stadium, there should be crowd control.
It's the bare minimum.
That wasn't there. That wasn't there. The COVID-19. But let's look at what the CAF president has to say, and then we'll come back to that. Now, the president of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has said that there will be an immediate investigation into the incident that left a number of people dead and many more injured ahead of Cameroon's African Cup of Nations match against the Comoros. Patrice Motsepe stressed that CAF will work in conjunction with the Cameroon government and the local organizing committee to uncover the reasons as to the crush that developed outside the Olympus Stadium in Yaoundé. The 59-year-old also added that the quarter-final match scheduled to take place at the same stadium has now been moved to the Hamadou Ahidjo Stadium, also in Yaoundé. What does that even mean, Mukail? Spectators come to the stadium to watch good football in a COVID-stricken era, and you open the stadiums down, you give them free buses, you let them enter, you don't have crowd control. And he says he went to the hospital to see them, they said they should not come for security reasons and blah, blah, blah. What is he talking about?
He gave no real information there.
Exactly.
It's so terrible to think that a brand new stadium that was just opened for this specific tournament has become a mourning ground.
A section crashed.
It has become a mourning ground, and it will forever be associated with those deaths and injuries. And spectators, you know, crowd mentality can oftentimes run away from individuals. It's like a wave. It swallows you up and you're lost in it. You have no control of it. You're just moving along with it. And I think we saw the effects of such a wave crashing down on such a poorly organized situation. And the deaths could have been foreseen.
True that.
Should have been prevented.
Should have been avoided.
And now they're just scrambling, talking about investigation is just code word for we will get back to you. Soon or never.
No, soon is always, sometimes never.
We'll release a report that admonishes some people but doesn't really lay down any real blame or punishment at the feet of anyone. And some people might have to walk away from the game, but then in a few years, gradually they'll be back again.
It just goes away. One of our favorites on the show, I'm sure Mukail would agree with me on this one. Stefanos Tsisipas will be hoping it's third time lucky in an Australian Open semi-final following his scintillating performance against Yannick Sinner in the last 8 yesterday. A semi-finalist in Melbourne in 2019 and 2021, the Greek defeated Italian Sinner 6-3, 6-4, 6-2 at the Rod Laver Arena in just over 2 hours. Stefanos Tsisipas says his doctor was consistently calling him and sending him texts saying, "Guy, you can't play in Australia." So, well, he proved him wrong.
And now we know he's facing Medvedev.
Yes, Daniel, we'll watch that match too. He's facing Daniel Medvedev.
And it will be a terrific matchup. Nadal is into the semis as well. And Berrettini is his opponent.
I'm not really routing for Nadal right now. Maybe Tsisipas or Medvedev, and I'll tell you why. If it was clay, I'd probably just put my salary on it. You know what? It's not clear.
It's not clear.
And
but I think we're blessed to be watching an Australian Open that started out with so much politics being played,
so much drama,
and now we're down back to just tennis, and we have a lineup of amazing
players
playing who are going to deliver amazing matches to us.
Now we know that Tsisipas is going to meet top seed Daniel Medvedev, who battled back from 2 sets down and saved the match points against Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime to reach the Australian Open semi-finals with a 6-7-4, 3-6, 7-6-2, 7-5, 6-4 victory in the early hours of this morning. 25-year-old Russian had his back firmly up against the wall for much of an absorbing contest as Auger-Aliassime produced some stunning tennis on Rod Laver Arena, but he simply refused to lie down as he overturned a 2-set deficit for only the second time in his career to set up a Friday semi-final against the Greek Stefanos Tsisipas. Quickly, Bukayo, fantastic matchup.
Yes.
Fantastic. So much drama.
I think we were just talking during the track that, you know, the players who gave us all that, I mean, Nadal had to go all the way into the 5th set to win it. Medvedev had to do the same.
Yeah.
And it just tells you that these players really want it. This year,
They
want to start the year strongly.
It's post-COVID.
And there is no one we can say is an absolute favorite right now.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Bukayo.
Always.
Thank you very much, Lawal. He had the cameras and it was fantastic. Thank you very much, Debola. He's always got my back. Thank you very much, AJ. Thank you very much, Kay. Thank you very much, Peter Piro, I call you. It's the guy downstairs, powerhouse. Join us same time. I'm leaving you with the NBA. And the Golden State Warriors eased past the Dallas Mavericks, delighting the home crowd in 130-92 victory. Join us same time tomorrow, Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.